Napa Valley is known for its wineries and food, but we're going to take you on a little adventure and show you there's a lot more to Napa Valley than that. Produced by Donna Parker. Like Napa, with me, Leanzy. Do you remember when you would stay away from the Napa River, the polluted stream that would run amok during heavy rains every few years? Well, those days are over. The Napa River has become a healthy, scenic addition to the Napa Valley lifestyle. Part of a sports enthusiast adventure, and all within driving distance and sometimes walking distance from your home in Napa Valley. Now you can walk designated paths along the Napa River, fish, and even kayak. In fact, we'll be talking with the owners of Kayak Napa Valley, Lori Abudera Robertson and Lisa Pearson, two women who took their enjoyment of kayaking on occasion to the business end of running Kayak Napa Valley. I met Lori and Lisa at Cuttings Wharf in the southern end of Napa Valley, specifically Los Caneros wine region. It was 10 o'clock in the morning and still a little foggy and chilly. Lori arrived with the trailer stacked high with kayaks, followed by Lisa and her two dogs, Aggie and Bosco. Kayak Napa Valley is dog friendly. They unloaded two kayaks and then sat down to talk with us.
I was fortunate in growing up to have many vacations on the water, but once I got married, spent many summers in Maui, luckily, and although we did many activities, kayaking was definitely a go-to. I moved to Napa when I was 3 years old, so kayaking wasn't the first thing on my mind at that point, but my family came to start a business of their own, and as I grew up and went away to college, upon our return and having had the kayaking experiences each year, it's with my friend Lisa, we started talking and decided that the Napa River was really a place that we could call home with a business like kayaking, since it was a love of both of ours.
One day I started taking my husband out, and then I took Lori out and took a couple other friends. I go, this is great, it's right in my backyard. And so when Lori and I were out one time, we thought, why aren't there more people enjoying this great waterway? And there was a lot of construction going on at that time, and really a lot of focus was happening on the river. And during our first trip together on the river, we decided, I think we could do this, and I think we can bring the Napa River to people, visitors coming to the valley, as well as people living right here in Napa.
Lori and Lisa gave us directions on proper handling of the kayak to have a safe and enjoyable adventure.
Inside the cockpit you have foot braces, and they're adjustable, and we want your knees to be bent just slightly, and we want to be able to have you push against those braces in the event that you encounter some wind and you need that resistance and that to go against that dig in down deep into the water. I want to tell you just a little bit of information about what you're going to do today and what you're going to see. So first of all, we're at Cuttings Wharf here on the Napa River, and this is the southernmost launch site that we can use. What we'll probably do today is go with the tide for a little bit and have the tide pushing us upriver, and then we'll turn around and come back, and hopefully we'll time it correctly to have the tide push us back, and we'll end up here in the same spot.
So at this point, the only part of our little business that we feel we haven't quite perfected is getting you in the water without just shoving you in. So we're going to ask you to exit to your right.
So sit like I am.
All right.
Put your feet down on the yellow part. You're going to reach over to stabilize yourself and ease yourself in. Yay! Okay.
All right.
So we've adjusted the seat so you're at a nice 90-degree angle, so you have plenty of support for your back. And we're going to hand you the paddles the way that we're going to ask that you keep them. So the way that the blade is tilted with the riding on facing outward, that's how you're going to be holding the paddle the entire time. So before I let you go, I'd like you to swing your hips and do the hula and feel how far the boat can rock. without anything happening to you. So go ahead, purposely swing your hips, do the hula. Yeah. Shake the boat, shake the boat. See how stable it is? Yeah. Okay.
I don't think we're really going anywhere.
That's good.
Get away from me.
For more information on Kayak Napa Valley, visit kayaknv.com, or you can email them at paddle@kayaknv.com. Kayaking is really fun for people of all ages because honestly, I know that it looks really hard. I thought it was going to be super hard, but it's really not, and it's super relaxing, and you get to enjoy the sights on the river. And I honestly think that anybody could do it. If a dog could do it, then anyone can do it. I think that kayaking is really good for people that have health issues as well, but still need a good workout because it really works out your arms and your whole body, but at the same time, it's not too hard. For example, I have sciatica. Well, obviously, I'm not really moving my lower back and my legs that much, so I'm still getting my workout, but I'm not hurting myself at the same time. And the great thing about Kayak Napa Valley is they let you bring your doggy, so I can bring Ivana with me. You wanna go kayaking? Let's go. You wanna go kayaking? Let's go kayaking. Coming up, I have an exclusive interview for you guys with the stars of the new movie, If I Stay, Chloe Grace Moretz and Liana Liberato. Gail Foreman, the author of the book, spoke with us too, so stay tuned.
What's that?
You'll be auditioning for Juilliard. That's the ceiling. I figured, if you look at it every night, it won't seem so scary when you get there.
If I Stay is about 17-year-old Mia who faces an out-of-body experience after a serious car accident with her family. While Mia watches flashbacks of her past, she must ultimately choose between life and death. I have to tell you guys, I don't cry a lot when I watch movies, ever. And I'm watching this movie and I'm seriously just tearing up the whole entire time. And I feel like it's because you seemed extra connected to this character, and I've watched you in a lot of films. Do you identify with Mia in any way?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest ways that I kind of identified with Mia was the fact that she found the cello and her kind of passion and first love when she was 8 years old. And I found acting when I was 5 years old. So we kind of had this connection from the very beginning when I first read the book that I could really understand, and how I would never give anything up. I would never give that up for anything in the world. And that's kind of your first true love, and so it was easy to portray that.
Your character, Kim, was just so funny and sarcastic. I loved her. What was the best part about playing her?
Probably just, I don't know, being silly. I really haven't had the opportunity to play a character like Kim, so it was actually really fun and challenging, and I really didn't know whether or not I would be able to portray a character like her, so I'm really so I'm glad people gave me the opportunity to do so. I told you he was into you.
No, he isn't.
You know how when you meet someone and they just already are the person they're meant to be? That was Adam.
I know that Adam was inspired by your husband. Yeah. Was there any inspiration for Mia?
Mia's the one where I really don't know where she came from, because she just arrived one morning fully formed, and she was a cellist. And I didn't have any background in classical music, and I didn't think that I was a cello fan. But there she was, and she had this sort of dark hair and this very sort of serious, focused demeanor. And when I started writing her, the voice that was coming out of her was more mature than my own. I sort of still talk like a 17-year-old Valley girl. So I don't know, and obviously there's lots of things that I connect with her, because I connect with her super deeply, but I couldn't sort of put a sort of finger on it, like, yeah, Mia's like this, or Mia's this other person that I know, whereas other people, there were more sort of direct lines.
Speaking of the cello, how did you do the scenes with the cello? Did you actually have to learn how to play?
I tried to learn. I had about 7 months of training, one-on-one for like 2 to 3 hours a day. But I tried really hard, but I'd be silly to say that in 7 months I learned such a classical instrument. But really what it was learning the passion that comes with being a cellist and kind of the physicality of playing the cello and how it kind of takes over your entire being. And they're very quiet people usually, but when you see them play, they kind of burst all their emotions out in that one piece. We did some great Frankenstein kind of head replacement stuff, so
Yeah.
It worked pretty well in the end.
So are there any plans to turn the second book into a movie?
I don't know. I mean, that is not a decision that any of us make at this point.
Gail's actually funding the second movie.
Yeah, well,
Oh, okay.
Fully off the back
yeah,
of
I'm having a
her
lemonade
#1
stand
book right
and
now.
a lemonade
Yeah.
stand that my daughters are running.
You're my home, Mia. Stay.
Be sure to watch If I Stay coming to a movie theater near you. The really cool thing about interviewing Chloe is that she's this huge star, right? And she's been in all these really big movies. And then before I go in to interview her, I see her sitting down and she's just on her phone, she's Instagramming, she's joking around, she's super relaxed. I felt like I was just in a room with my teenage sister or something. And it's just really cool because as soon as the cameras go on, she turns super professional. And she's just really nice and chill. And it's just so funny because you never expect these big stars to act like such normal people when at the end of the day, they really are just normal people. On the next episode of Like Napa with Leanzy, we head back to the Napa River, this time to try stand-up paddling. We will also join a river cleanup event where people and pets of all ages spend a few hours picking up trash along the river. Be sure you like Napa with Leanzy by checking out our Instagram at Like Napa with Leanzy, or you can tweet me at LeanzyKate. See you next time!